First generation, C1, 1953-1962. The first generation of Corvette was introduced late in the 1953 model year, appearing as a show car for the 1953 General Motors Motorama, January 17 to 23 at New York's Waldorf Astoria Hotel. At the time, Chevrolet General Manager Thomas H. Keating said it was 6 months to a year away from production readiness. The car generated sufficient interest for mass production to begin on June 30, 1953. Uniquely, the original Corvette used fiberglass bodywork, its reinforcement placed by hand. This generation was often referred to as the solid axle models, with independent rear suspension appearing in the next. 300 hand-built Corvette convertibles were produced, all Polo White, for the 1953 model year. The 1954 model year vehicles could be ordered in pennant blue, sportsman red, black, or Polo White. 3,640 were manufactured. The 1953, 1954, and 1955 model years were the only Corvettes equipped with a 235 cu in 3.9L version of the second-generation Blue Flame inline-six rated at 150 horsepower, 112 kilowatts, 152 PS. The 1955 model offered a 265 cu in 4.34L V8 engine as an option. The new V8 improved 0 to 60 miles per hour, 0 to 97 kilometers per hour, acceleration by 3 seconds. With a large inventory of unsold 1954 models, GM limited production to 700 units for 1955. Despite the poor sales of the Corvette at the time, the V8 was a popular option, with an estimated 6 cars produced with the inline-six. 3 new competitors, the Ford Thunderbird, the Studebaker Speedster, and the larger Chrysler C300 were introduced that same year. 1956 Chevrolet Corvette transistorized, hybrid, vacuum tubes and transistors, car radio option, which was GM's first start in using the modern solid-state electronics for a production car model. A new body was introduced for the 1956 model featuring a revised front end and side coves. The tail lamp fins were deleted. 19. An optional, ramjet, fuel injection system was made available midway through the 1957 model year. It was one of the first American mass-produced engines in history to reach 1 horsepower per cubic inch, 0.046 kilowatts per centimeter 3, and Chevrolet's advertising agency used a 1 horsepower per cubic inch slogan for advertising the 283 horsepower, 211 kilowatts, 287 PS, 283 cu in 4.64L small block engine. Other options included power windows, 1956, hydraulically assisted convertible top, 1956, heavy-duty brakes and suspension, 1957, and 4-speed manual transmission, late 1957. Delco radio transistorized signal-seeking, hybrid, car radio, which used both vacuum tubes and transistors in its radio's circuitry, 1956 option. The 1958 Corvette received a body and interior revisions including a longer front end with quad headlamps, bumper exiting exhaust tips, revised steering wheel, and a dashboard with all gauges mounted directly in front of the driver. For 1958 only were 1958 hood louvers and twin trunk spears. The 1959-60 model years had few changes except a decreased amount of body chrome and more powerful engine offerings. In 1961, the rear of the car was completely redesigned with the addition of a tapered tail with 4 round lights. The light treatment would continue for all following model year Corvettes until 2014. In 1962, the Chevrolet 283 cu in 4.64L small block was enlarged to 327 cu in 5.36L. In standard form, it was rated at 250 horsepower, 186 kilowatts, 253 PS. For an additional 12% over list price, the fuel-injected version produced 360 horsepower, 268 kilowatts, 365 PS, making it the fastest of the C1 generation. 1962 was also the last year for the wraparound windshield, solid rear axle, and convertible-only body style. 27. The trunk lid and exposed headlamps did not reappear for many decades.